History made in the Tar Heel state last night.
Who exactly is Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson?
I'm the majority.
Mark Robinson, do you swear?
I do.
Stand before you today as the first black lieutenant governor of North Carolina. History teaches us anything. It's that Americans don't run from trouble. We run towards it. Now it's our time to stand up and make history. That's what I'm fighting for. And that's why I'm running for governor. Will you join me?
Yes. Great day. Been hoping for this day. Joining me now, the current lieutenant governor, future governor of North Carolina, Mark Robinson. Governor, for those who have never seen you on the show before or heard you before, who are you? Where'd you come from?
Well, thank you for having me here today. It's a pleasure. My name is Mark Robinson, born and raised in Greensboro, North Carolina, number 9 of 10 children. Had a pretty rough upbringing. Saw some tough times as a young man, father, young husband. Overcame those tough times, and I now find myself immersed in the world of what they call politics. And I believe the experiences that I've had in life will serve me well, because it'll help me serve the people who have gone through the same kind of struggles that I have. So that's just a little bit about who I am. And you know me. I firmly believe in the American dream. I believe in our Constitution, and I believe in what made this nation great. And I know what made this nation great is not the tenets of socialism and the foolishness that we're seeing now. So we're moving into this thing fully intending to fight against those things and do the things we need to do to keep this nation and our state, North Carolina, great.
Mark, why don't more normal people like you run for office? Normal people with a bold vision, not these people that were in politics their whole life, and I interned for this idiot and that idiot, and then I started running. We need normal people, but they don't run.
I'm gonna tell you exactly why, and they're gonna attack me over this. So many of us have experienced difficulties in our life. So many of us have faced financial hardships. So many of us have made mistakes in our lives. Financial mistakes, personal mistakes. Many people have had, a myriad of problems in their lives. And, people want to be private and people want to keep their lives private. But in politics, we have created this thing where we try to fillet people and open them up for scrutiny, where we don't scrutinize other folks the same way. I would submit to you, when was the last time you went to a doctor and asked your doctor, what do your finances look like? Who was the last person you slept with? Have you ever cheated on your wife? Have you ever filed for bankruptcy? We don't ask our doctor these things. Certainly, you might want to ask your banker that maybe, or somebody who's going to be handling your money. But we ask people pertinent questions based on the job. Many of the things that you see politicians fingers being pointed at them and being demonized, their lives being filleted, being skewered over, has nothing to do with the jobs that they do. In fact, people who have overcome many of the problems that we see in society today and come out of it on better for it on the other end, can take those experiences into office and lend that advice to others and lend that advice to legislation to make lives better for other people. But we push those people out of the arena. We scare them off. And I truly believe it's done on purpose.
Yeah, that's probably the answer I get the most when I tell normal people to run. I've done too much bad stuff in my life. I tell them everybody has. Good grief, you should see my list of things. All right, you're outspoken about an issue the Republican Party is very afraid of, abortion. Democrats have used this issue to win elections. There's no question about it, but yet you are bold. You're always bold when you speak, but you're bold when you speak about it. Why?
Because I have very strong feelings about it, for a myriad of reasons. Chief among that is my faith. My faith is what leads me to stand against abortion. I don't believe abortion is compatible with our tenets in this nation. Our tenets are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life is number one, and liberty, you can't have it if you don't have your life, and you can't pursue your happiness if you're not alive. So it goes against those tenets. But beyond that, when we're talking about this abortion issue, I really want to change the narrative here. I don't want to talk about abortion. I want to talk about life. And how do we bring life to people and bring it more abundantly? Many of the issues that drive people to abortion clinics are substantive issues that we can work on as elected officials. Things like our adoption system, childcare system, healthcare system, even our schools and public safety. Those are issues that oftentimes frighten people into the abortion clinics. We want to do everything that we can in North Carolina to work on those things so that people feel secure to have their children. We want to partner with places like crisis pregnancy care centers that come in and give immediate services to those young women, those young men in crisis who don't know what to do and feel like they're at their wits' end and feel like they don't have help. We need to partner with those people to encourage those folks and let them know you are not alone in this. We want you to have your child, and not only do we want you to have your child, we want to help you be successful when you have your child and help your child be successful once they're born. You know, in short, I want to just change the whole narrative from abortion to life. When I say life, I mean life from conception all the way to graduation, all the way to maturation. We have to make North Carolina a state, a destination state for life. That's what we want to do.
Amen. I love that you speak about this, because I saw something actually this morning that said 19.7% of Generation Z are now identifying as LGBT, and setting aside all the other insanity of it. Governor, we're not making enough babies to keep being a nation anymore. I know this is something people don't like to discuss, but we're not going to be around if we don't start getting young people getting married and making babies. We need to, and we're not doing it. And we're not going to, all this stuff is, none of this stuff matters in 100 years if we don't make enough babies to stay around here.
You know, you touch on a great point, and the point that you're touching on goes directly to an issue that I'm very passionate about and plan to focus on throughout my campaign. And then if I'm elected, once I'm governor, if I'm elected, and that's education. You look at what's happening in education right now. We're no longer teaching our children about the basics of biology, which is there are two genders, male and female. We are not teaching our children that anymore. What kind of chaos is that going to create? That is creating absolute chaos in the minds of young people. Minds that are not fully formed yet, are not capable of making these decisions. We are encouraging those children, some of those minor children, to go out and get sex change surgery. The president of the United States co-signed on this. And we're pushing those agendas inside our education system. What do we expect to happen with our young folks? They're not going to get married. They're not going to have children. They're not going to know which way to turn because we're not giving them that base. And the worst thing about it is this. Many of the school systems and many of those healthcare systems are pushing the parents out of the equation. We have got to push back against that agenda and get back to teaching our children what they need to succeed. And it all starts with education, and that starts with the parents.
Amen. Governor, I want people to support your work. Can they do that? Are people allowed to support you yet? What are we allowed to do? I don't want to break the law here.
Absolutely. You can go to Mark Robinson for NC. Check out my website. There's a donation porthole there. You can give to our campaign. You can support our campaign. Tell folks about our campaign. Tell them that there's somebody in North Carolina that's not running for power or privilege or any of that. I'm not running because I want to be a big shot who calls himself the governor. I'm running because I want to partner with the people of North Carolina so that I and them can get together and work on the substantive issues they face to make North Carolina better for both them and their future generations.
I like it, Governor. Talk to you again soon, sir.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you, as always.